Hello, and welcome to this Procad webinar on improved client collaboration techniques for designers. My name is Jonathan Brookfield, and I'm a technical consultant specialising in building information modelling, AEC software, and infrastructure design. You can connect with me on LinkedIn using the URL shown. Before we begin, please note the following. The workflow shown in this webinar presents the best practice we could establish at that moment in time. For software developments and updates, or should you wish to implement these workflows on a real-world project, it is advised that you consult with a technical team and/or relevant expert to advise in relation to applying the present workflows to a specific project. In this webinar, we shall be covering the following topics. We begin by looking at a detailed overview of Autodesk Bim Collaborate Pro, what it involves, and what is its purpose. We will then take a look at working from home benefits, the positives when working from home, and how software can aid in this transition to, without the use of a better phrase, the new normal. Next, we shall identify where the time and cost savings are, followed by Autodesk AEC collection software workflows. Finally, we will finish this webinar by looking at client interaction. How can we improve communication both through processes and by the use of three-dimensional models? Autodesk Bim Collaborate Pro is a platform for the whole project team. That includes designers such as architects, engineers and subconsultants, coordinators such as project managers, BIM and VDC managers, and BIM and CAD specialists, and decision makers including principals, project owners and clients. Pain points that AEC projects often experience may well include: companies need more flexibility for remote, anytime, anywhere work, now more than ever, using the design tools they know and love such as Revit, Civil 3D and Plant 3D. Companies need fewer disconnected, non-integrated applications and more streamlining of data and workflows. Not all decision makers need to have authoring tools such as Revit, Civil 3D or Plant 3D. Manage design review and get input from important project contributors when it matters, not when it's too late. Bim Collaborate Pro is great if your team uses more than one design authoring tool, such as between Revit, Civil 3D and Plant 3D. And even if you don't use workflows that require a common data environment or more than one design tool, it's likely that your extended project teams, the ones you collaborate with, still do. Being a part of digital project delivery means needing the ability to review and access files, comment, co-author, or carry out change orders. Without the co-authoring services, Bim Collaborate is still powerful, and the right choice for design leads, project reviewers like owners or principals, coordinators and other team members who don't need to edit designs themselves. It's also great if you're primarily using AutoCAD. We know AutoCAD users are leveraging the power of the cloud. There are more than 11 million DWG files on Autodesk BIM 360 platform today, which means AutoCAD users, like you, are part of the project delivery process. Even if you don't use Revit, Civil 3D or Plant 3D, you can still actively and seamlessly participate with other teams in the process. Design data and BIM are in Autodesk's DNA, and they are uniquely positioned to extend the value of that data throughout the plan, build, and operate phases, letting project data flow seamlessly across the life cycle and making it available to teams in the right place at the right time. Autodesk's solution to enable that connection and help companies move through the digitize, integrate and optimize stages is the Autodesk Construction Cloud. Bim Collaborate and Bim Collaborate Pro enable building design professionals and extended project team stakeholders, whether within one firm or across multiple firms, to collaborate securely and store data on the Autodesk Construction Cloud platform for AEC projects. These products include these key features for Revit users: Autodesk Docs, the foundation of the Autodesk Construction Cloud platform. The Design Collaboration module, giving customers a high degree of control over how and with whom their project data is shared, as well as the unique ability to see all the changes from version to version. And the Model Coordination module, giving customers automated 3D clash detection capabilities and integrated coordination issue management tools. Bim Collaborate Pro adds powerful Revit cloud sharing technology that enables real-time Revit work sharing virtually anywhere, even with modest internet connectivity. Data-driven. Autodesk Docs, the foundation of Autodesk Bim Collaborate and Autodesk Bim Collaborate Pro, aggregates project data across the entire lifecycle to give you a clear picture into project performance, allowing you to make quicker, more informed business decisions and predict issues before they become costly hold-ups. Prediction and analytics capabilities. The Insight module of Autodesk Docs present data and analytics capability in a unified project homepage, dashboards and reports, partner data integration, and easy customization. These features help teams manage risk by giving them personalized visibility into daily priorities, an instant snapshot of individual project health, as well as insights into company-wide performance. These same issues resonate with a vast majority of design firms when surveyed on their opinion about the challenges of working together effectively. Let's take a look. If your concern is alleviating complex projects by enabling members to better collaborate on designs, you can use Bim Collaborate Pro to enable multiple users to co-author Revit models with Revit Cloud Work Sharing. This gives you the ability to extend work sharing to project teams in any location while centralizing efforts of distributed teams. You can also better allocate resources and assign the best team members with the most relevant skill sets to each project. If your concern is security, Bim Collaborate Pro gives you a great deal of flexibility to control who has access to your design data. With it, you can restrict user access to certain folders or limit access according to user role or company. Control work sharing and design deliverable exchange with the assurance that the right information is in the right hands throughout the project. If your concern is efficient team communication, you can use Bim Collaborate Pro to ensure that your project team is always aware of the project's overall progress. Reduce rework with trackable project activity. Facilitate model exchange and deliverable coordination. Understand changes in context between aggregated models in a single space. And navigate change visualization by team, phase, building level, and more. Also note that the Autodesk Design Collaboration module has change analytics for Revit, as well as meeting minutes inside of the Autodesk Construction Cloud platform. If your concern is accountability and ensuring that everyone involved on the project is completing their tasks in a timely manner, you can create issues and markups in Bim Collaborate Pro. These features enable you to pin issues in context, collaborate with comment threads, add photos, assign work, and track open issues through to resolution. When the entire project team is involved in clash detection and resolution, issues can be identified and solved without waiting for coordination meetings. Collaborating with multiple teams on a project brings many challenges whilst files are shared using various methods, resulting in logistical issues and general confusion. The solution is Autodesk Bim Collaborate Pro's Design Collaboration, organising teams onto one platform where data is shared by teams, creating packages of data that are shared to a central location, and the target teams exploring the data and consuming it if approved. In this example, the civil team publishes the finished surface to the Bim Collaborate Pro civil data location. They can then browse their data in design collaboration and select the relevant information they wish to share, giving them complete control over what is shared to the other teams. This package will then appear in the project timeline. The architectural team will see the new data package from the civil team appear in the project timeline. They can explore the data without committing to accepting it. If the decision is made to accept it, they can consume the data, which is then transferred to their team data structures. The architectural team can then utilise the consumed civil data as they progress the design of the building envelope. As with the civil team, the architectural team will create their own package of data that they wish to share with the other project teams. The structural team, having identified and then consumed the architectural data, can connect to their own consumed folder and access the approved architectural data. They can then start the process of building out the structural scheme. Once the structural team are in a position to share their data, they will create a package of data by again browsing the available data in design collaboration, selecting the specific items they wish to share, and publishing it to the access-controlled central shared location. The plant team identify the structural package on the project timeline and proceed to explore and consume the data back to their own team's data structures. The plant team will then utilise both the architectural and structural data during their design process. As the project progresses, the P&ID data will have been produced, and the pipe modelers within the plant team will make use of that data, as well as the structural and architectural data to guide their designs. Once the plant team are ready to share their data, which may include model as well as documentation information, they will also create their packages of data as appropriate to share back to the project team. A project reviewer will aggregate the project model data and identify design concerns. These need to be efficiently communicated to the relevant team and progress tracked. Any issues are raised by highlighting the location of the problem visually and then by adding the detail of the issue and assigning it to an individual for review and subsequent resolution. Autodesk Bim Collaborate Pro's design collaboration vastly improves project-wide collaboration, providing for efficient, controlled data sharing and model aggregation within a rich, visual environment. Working from home has started to become more common even prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Here are 4 key benefits that can be gained by working from home. Less distractions. This is debatable, but for a lot of people, working from home allows them to work without being disturbed by the surroundings that come with an office environment. Focused agenda and outputs. Aided by a reduction in distractions from other colleagues and managers changing or fluctuating work products, outputs and tasks need to be agreed as resources are remote, putting more of an emphasis on good project planning and resource management. Control over work environment. When working from home, individuals can have more control over their surroundings. This may include the cleanliness and tidiness of a workstation, temperature, ambience such as wall colours, lighting, and even background music and sounds if this aids productivity. And finally, large reductions in transportation. It has been found that organisations gain more productive time during the working day out of their employees when they don't have to commute compared to when travel is a necessity. This is because they don't have to take time out of their day by sitting in a car, bus or train, but rather use this time for work commitments. Aspects relating to time and cost savings include being more profitable and maximise production with existing resources. By using smarter technology and improved workflows, production yield with fewer staff is increased by taking advantage of computational power and automated production. Gain a competitive edge by doing more with less. Meet requirements for BIM and maximise margins with more seamless workflows. By working in a more reciprocal approach instead of a sequential flow, clash detection and model coordination becomes a constant process during interdisciplinary design. Implement BIM data management principles and ISO 19650 protocols can broaden an organization's client portfolio for those who insist on these methodologies being adopted. Engage early and collaborate better with stakeholders. Traditionally, AEC projects have been guilty of producing complex outputs early on, such as detailed drawings and calculations, which can be abortive works and not fit for the target, non-technical audience, such as clients, planning authorities, or asset managers. By using visually powerful indicative models created using applications such as Formit and Infraworks, optioneering and early stakeholder engagement becomes a more intuitive and efficient process. And finally, harness the power of remote cloud-based working. We touched on the benefits briefly of staff working from home previously, but to add to this are the cost savings that organisations can take advantage of. Without project teams travelling for face-to-face meetings and office working, organisations can cut travel and accommodation expenses, not to mention the reduction in a company's carbon footprint. Setting the location allows you to get real-time weather data from local weather stations, which can be used for shadow studies, solar heat gain analysis, and for energy optimization modelling through Insight. Each form notes its area, and along with the overall site area, floor area ratio and floor areas are calculated and always up to date as the design changes. The model will identify any watertight issues and backface issues which can get in the way of 3D printing and downstream workflows. These issues can occur when importing geometry into Formit from surface modelling programs. Assess watertight seal for 3D printing and downstream workflows when using 3ds Max, Unity, and Revit. Formit is part of the BIM 360 ecosystem. Formit models can be saved and shared in hubs and projects on BIM 360 along with the rest of the project information, so it's accessible by the whole team from any location. Use the BIM 360 viewer for markups and assign RFIs to team members for task tracking. Formit's collaboration allows multiple people to be working in the same Formit model at once, so one person could be at the site working on the model from a tablet device while another architect is at their desktop in the office. Collaboration works on BIM 360 and also on locally saved models. iPad and Windows app have a touch-based interface. Formit is integrated with Dynamo, allowing you to run a Dynamo graph inside of Formit. It comes with sample graphs that ship with Formit that create stairs, curtain walls, and structural grids. You can create more by going into Dynamo using the Bake to Formit node and isInput and pointing to the .dyn graph location. The graphs can be edited inside of Formit with simple sliders, input fields, and buttons, so the designer doesn't need to work in Dynamo to explore design options. Additionally, the capabilities of Formit are expanded with several JavaScript plugins that ship with Formit, but you can also create your own customized scripts for specific needs. Some plugins that Formit ships with include Rebuild Curve Tool, Extract Material Maps, Mesh and Unmesh All, Fillet 2D Corners, and Properties Plus tool to expose additional detailed properties and quantifications. It's important to start our design with as much real-world data as possible. This example shows using Infraworks Model Builder to obtain topographic and roadway data to be used in Formit for early-stage design context. Once the 3D context is in Formit, the location, adjacent buildings, weather data, and more can be used to generate solar heat gain studies, sun and shadow studies, and analyse the model for energy usage through Insight Energy Modelling. Infraworks, like Navisworks, can host a range of various file formats, making it a fantastic tool for model federation. Once an Infraworks file has been set up using the model builder, the topographic terrain can be exported as an IMX file for use inside other AEC applications, ready for preliminary designs and optioneering to begin. We can then import an IMX file into Civil 3D for the transfer of objects such as surfaces, utilities and pipe networks, roads, intersections and roundabouts, coverages or mapping areas, water features, bridges, tunnels and more. The terrain won't be suitable for detailed design or construction purposes, but it will give designers a head start prior to more detailed surveys being commissioned on the project. Infraworks allows us to highlight coverage areas, variations in terrain finishes, and creating items such as line marking by draping shapefiles and spatial data files over the terrain. Here you can see we've subdivided our proposed surface into car park asphalt and grass landscaped areas, and then further enhanced the aesthetics by superimposing line marking across the car park. Here we have a Revit model of a steel palisade fence to be used as an anti-intruder boundary for our car park and building. The fence has been created using the Revit railing tool and a gate using a generic model family. By creating a proposed terrain in Civil 3D, we can link this surface into Revit via Autodesk Docs. We can then reference the linked surface as a host for our railing tool fence to follow. By creating a 3D view, only showing the fence and gate, we can export our Revit model as an FBX file. Inside Infraworks, we can import our FBX fence model so that it is geospatially correct by inputting the coordinates of our Revit project base point. As you can see, Infraworks outputs a gamified yet impressive visualization for model federation and stakeholder engagement purposes. In the modern AEC industry, we're finding ourselves moving further towards the use of three-dimensional modelling when performing stakeholder engagement, particularly when we speak to our clients. After all, a picture speaks 1,000 words. This shift is also due to a reduction in traditional documentation and paper deliverables, where a three-dimensional model is much easier to present than word process reports and two-dimensional sketches and drawings. Coupled with the traceability and collaborative benefits the Autodesk Construction Cloud brings to projects, Formit and Infraworks brings a whole new dimension to how we present ideas, designs, and perform optioneering. Thank you for attending this webinar on improved client collaboration, techniques for designers. If you would like to find out more about any of the products you have seen in this webinar, please contact Procad for further information.